Hey guys, how are we? And welcome back to the channel, Masculine Dating and Development. It's been a while. It has been a while. Way too long. But the main thing is I'm back now. And I'm going to be a lot more consistent. I'm not going to go into the reasons why. But I guess it's almost been 12 months. So since I started it. But I'm back, like I said. And that's the main thing. And definitely going to be a lot more consistent moving forward. And I want to look at, at least 2 to 3 videos per week and more. Including some infield and stuff like that. So that's definitely yet to come. But today, what I really want to focus on, because this is one of the biggest things to me and to everyone else that should know, is that why you need to learn cold approach in 2026 and why it's a cheat code. So you're going to have to excuse me from time to time. I've just got some bullet point notes down here that I'm going to refer to. So I kind of like to do it this way. So it's a bit more natural and you're actually speaking to a real human, a real one, I should say. Yeah, so the main point I definitely want to start on with why cold approach in 2026 especially is so effective and so important is that let's just look at the dating apps situation and just the saturation point, okay? So I'm not saying you can't be successful on dating apps. You can, but that's definitely another video for another time, and I plan on making that very shortly as well. So you can be successful on dating apps, but you also need to look at the amount of saturation and the volume, right? And what I mean by that is that dating apps is pretty much almost to a 4-to-1 ratio, at the very least 3-to-1, right? So you're talking 3 guys to 1 girl, then most of the time 4-to-1, okay? That's why we have to pay subscriptions and they don't. And their AOL scores, as it's called, because you get a scoring rank within the dating apps, they get scored higher. That's just the way it goes, right? And there's a lot of simps out there. Anyway, and that's another video for another time. So the dating apps saturation point, right, which means that there's so many men that are checking out and have checked out a cold approach over the last 20 years. Because obviously we're lacking our social skills and confidence. So that's the next point that I want to go into is that, so because we're lacking the confidence and social skills, that's why we're leaning more on social media, dating apps and so on and so forth, to a lesser extent social circle that's kind of dying as well, right? So that means there is a big hole, right, to be filled. A big hole to be filled. In relation to standing out in person, okay? And that's another point that's like the easiest way to stand out 2026 is through cold approach is because no one is doing it, okay? Literally, like the stats show that over 75% of women wish they were cold approached more. Just think about that. That is a stat. You can actually go look that up. And I can tell you, like I've even cold approached like a model that I knew, right? Well, I kind of knew sort of thing. It was only a few weeks ago. And, she said to me, she actually genuinely said, because I was talking to her about this situation and, does she ever get cold approach and that? And she goes, you know what, honestly, like you were the first one. And I mean, I said to her, today? She goes, no, forever, right? And I was like, wow. Okay, fuck, that's crazy, okay? And then I said, yeah, you just kind of want to be, cold approach, in a genuine, non-creepy way, right? And she's like, honestly, at this stage, I wouldn't even care if they were a little bit creepy or whatever. I just want to be cold approach. Like this is where we're at, guys. You know what I mean? This is what she is telling me. It's like, yeah, there's such a hole. And, for the men that actually grow the balls and have the confidence to do it and learn how to do it effectively, right? It is a cheat code. It really is. You are creating something from nothing, okay? That's literally what you're doing. And also what I want to also touch on is that it's not so much about the girls. It is, obviously that's an end result, but it's about the process and it's about the person you become in the process, right? And you know, to give you an example, you know, because I've been doing daytime cold approach. That's my preference. We can talk about the other ones in another video, but my preference is daytime. Suits me for my age, and it's much more conscious, right? Like I said, we will definitely go into it in another video. And when I say it's not about the girls, it is, but the person that you become in the process, it transforms you, because when you know that you can go up and talk to someone and potentially create something from nothing, that is like a powerful skill that transfers into every other area of your life wholeheartedly. Do you know what I mean? And when you actually do it, right? For like the first time that you actually do a cold approach, I remember my first time ever, like not bars and clubs and social circles and whatever, like the proper, first time that you go out and that is on your mind. You know that's what you're going to do, right? I remember it. I can remember the first time. It's still tattooed in my mind. And the thing is, it's like, it reminds me of like when you have your first fight, okay? Or you have a punch up on the street or whatever, whether you've had some boxing fights, whatever, like myself, whatever. You don't really remember much when you're in the moment, okay? You don't really remember much at all. Like you remember bits and pieces, but you kind of forget things that were said and how it went, right? But over time, you're able to bring more awareness to the sets, to the conversations, right? And you're able to self-analyze and adjust and whatever. That kind of comes after. But my point being is that, this is the point that I'm making, is that you transform and you become this different person through cold approach. It is, yeah, it's a pretty amazing skill. It really is. When you can go out there, and especially when you can go out there and create an abundant dating life at the drop of a hat. So no matter what happens, you know, you can leave the house today, you can go and talk to 10 girls effectively, right? And you know that you can walk away with, we'll talk about the numbers later, but you can walk away with, like, you know, you talk to 10 girls, generally like 5, 6 numbers, whatever, right? That's kind of roughly the ratio. 1 or 2 might turn into dates, right? And then you can generally, you know, out of those 2 or whatever, it'll turn into more, right? So that's what I mean by what I'm saying, is that it's not about the girls. Initially, it's about who you become in the process and remain detached. That's how you get the girls. Okay. Another point that also I want to make is that you can show a lot more confidence and personality in person, right? Compared to, obviously, you know, dating apps and social media. All they're seeing, unless you're putting up videos and reels of yourself, but still, in-person energetic exchange, and then being able to see you and talk to you, right, in person, it is a massive thing. We know as women, their intuition is much more heightened than us, and they pick up on all the subtleties, right? And especially body language. So non-verbal communication is 93%. So when you're on a dating app, all they're looking at is a small percentage of who you are. And as we know that women's perception, right, their gaze, the female gaze, is completely different to us. It's much more intricate, okay? As they say, that's why they say women fall in love with their ears and men fall in love with their eyes, okay? There's a lot of validity to that. So 55% is body language, right? So you're missing out on all of that on dating apps and social media. And then you've got the other, so 55% is body language, and 38% is obviously your voice, your pitch, your tone, your volume, right? And then only a small 7% is spoken words. So, you know, you think of texting, like you're not even talking to the person on a dating app, you're texting. So you're missing out on all that, right? So that's huge right there. That already puts you ahead of 95% of guys. 95, I'm telling you. So the thing is that another point I'd like to add is that even if you are successful on dating apps, you still need to know how to talk to women in real life, okay? And how are you going to do that if you're not actually out there and talking to women in real life, right? You got to know how to talk to them. You got to know how to flirt with them. You know how to banter, tease them, run the dates, all that kind of stuff. Again, so much I could go into right now, but I'm not going to. I just want to touch on a few points, right? But you need to know how to talk to girls in real life. And to get better with girls, you have to get better with girls. The only way to get better with girls is to go and talk to girls in real life, face to face, in person, okay? That's the only way, right? And I'm going to do another video on looks maxing and, you know, money and status and all that kind of the other crap they're feeding us these days to keep us away from actually improving in this area. And how do we improve in that area? You go direct, you go to the goal, okay? If I was training, right, for a swimming match, okay? A swimming event, right? Would I go and run, right, instead of hitting the pool? What would I do? Because we know the carryover is not one-to-one. So that's just, I wouldn't do that, right? Obviously, if I was training for a swimming event, I would train in the pool to swim for that event, right? It's the same thing with this. If you want to be better with the girls, you got to go out there, do the hard work and talk to girls. Another point that I'd like to add is that you also get to test the vibe, like I said, in real life and actually know what they look like. Anyone that's had a lot of experience on dating apps and whatnot, like you have to filter pretty hard, and like generally, like I will get them on the phone and I'll try and do a video call before I go up, before I actually meet them in person. Because as we know, they can do one hell of a catfish, right? They really can. So I'm very stringent with that within myself. But you get to test the vibe in real life, right? For both of yous, and you get to see what the energetic exchange is like, and you know what they actually look like because you've talked to them face to face, okay? Now, is cold approach harder than dating apps? Of course it is. But it's harder for a reason. The barrier to entry is harder, but the prize on the other side is much more valuable, right? Another point that I would like to also bring up is that you get more access to beautiful women, okay? Now, what I mean by that is, okay, when you're on dating apps or, you know, you're trying to DM girls on social media, which I do not recommend, mind you. Again, I know I keep saying this, but like these are points for another video. So do not DM girls on social media. But the reason why you get more access to beautiful girls, think about this as an example, okay? Say you've got a girl that's got 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 followers on Instagram, whatever. And you're sending that girl a DM. Do you know how many DMs that girl is getting? If you've ever seen in a girl's phone, average girls are getting bombarded across multiple platforms all day, every day, okay? Multiple. I've seen in multiple girls' phones, and I'm telling you right now that it blows your mind, the amount of tension and amount of simping they're getting from guys, okay? So say they're getting all this attention outside, right, of not being in real life person interactions, but they're getting all this attention through the phone. Well, then if you go up, and obviously you don't know when you talk to this particular person, but you could be talking to a girl that has 5,000, 500,000, even up to 1 million followers, whatever. It's happened to me before. And you've cold approached that girl, right? Just think about how much more you stand out. That's how you can get access to these girls. Obviously, you're not going to know, right? Or maybe you do know the person and you see them out there in everyday life, depending where they live and whatnot. But that's how you can get more access to beautiful girls, the ones that you thought that are actually out of your reach, right? And this all becomes possible through the art of cold approach. So you get to shortcut it, and that's why I say it really is a cheat code, because you get to shortcut, right? And when I say it's shortcut, it is and it isn't. It's a shortcut to begin to be able to get access to more of the beautiful girls, right? But yes, I'm not going to sit here and say that it is easy, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone would be doing it. But you know what? The beautiful thing is for us and the men that actually want to take charge is that a lot of them aren't. And then that leaves a big hole for us that we can come in and we can capitalize. Okay? And all roads lead to the same destination. They definitely do. So, yes, just to cap it off, like I said, dating app saturation, lack of confidence and social skills is the easiest way to stand out in 2026 because no one's doing it. The stats show that 75% of women wish they were approached more. It's correct. I've got real life evidence myself. It's not so much about the girls, but who you become in the process. Goals over girls, right? You get to show a lot more confidence and personality in person as subcoms make up 93% of communication. And we know the breakdown, 55% body language, 38% pitch volume, 7% spoken words. It's nothing, guys. Even if you are successful on dating apps, you still need to know how to talk to women in real life, okay? That's where a lot of guys are stuffing up because girls are like matching with these guys and they're demonstrating high value. And then they're meeting these girls, they're meeting these men in real life and they're like, what the fuck? It doesn't match up with the demonstrating high value on the dating apps because he doesn't know what to do. You know what I mean? He really doesn't. And then, yeah, you get to test the vibe in real life and actually see what they really look like, right? And then you have more access to beautiful women. What more could you ask for? So anyway, guys, this video for me, it's, probably for you guys too. I think that's given a pretty good overview of why you need to learn cold approach in 2026, right? And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the notes and stuff like that. Yeah, if you guys find it interesting or you guys have any other suggestions or anything you'd like to add to that or subtract from that, then definitely like, comment, and subscribe. And put in the comments anything else that you guys would like me to talk about. All right, I'm more than happy to discuss anything. Okay, I just got my Meta glasses, Ray-Bans the other day, so just getting used to them and can't wait to start filming the content as well. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to this, guys. I really am. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, I just want to add value, I want to share value, I want to give value. There's no gatekeeping, there's no hidden secrets or anything like that. That's not my deal. That's not what it's about. And to be honest, I've been in this space and I've seen so much of the space of different people and whatnot, coaches, etc., and so on and so forth, that there is no real kind of secrets. We actually know what we need to do, guys, but we just don't do it. Yes, there is some certain frameworks that we need to follow. And yes, I'm digressing right now, but I just love talking about this stuff, okay? I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. So I'm looking forward to bringing the next video to you as well. And I'm pretty sure my next one is going to be how to cold approach effectively, okay? So then I'll go over the frameworks and everything that I know and what I do and what I've done over the last 10 years, okay? All right, guys, this video has gone on long enough. I'm glad to be back. I'm sure you can tell from my energy and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to bringing more value and just adding more value. That's all I care about right now. That's all I care about. So, all right, guys, all the best. Hope everyone's well. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.